Hello everyone, we are group 6. We are going to analyzing 2 transcripts by each person. This research focuses on how to attract young customers interested in sustainable fashion to the brand. Sustainable fashion is becoming increasingly important due to the environment concern. The research aimed to understand young customers' attitude, motivations, and behaviors towards sustainable fashion. The objectives of this research are to understand the value perception of sustainable fashion brands and how to build a communication strategies with effective message for sustainable fashion brands. In-depth interview method were conducted with individuals who have experience with sustainable fashion and second-hand clothing. The procedure involves 20 minutes face-to-face interviews with participants. This qualitative research method allowed a deep and comprehensive understanding of different individuals' experience. According to the transcripts, both 2 participants expressed a strong interest in supporting environmental-friendly practice through their clothing choice. They felt a sense of accomplishment by contributing to save the earth through sustainable choices. This is highly indicated that the younger generation, who are the target customers, holding a distinctly positive attitude toward eco-friendly clothing brand. Even though both participants have very limited experience purchasing sustainable clothing, as they mentioned, the high price was a significant barrier. They also mentioned reduced durability as a concern when using second-hand clothing. In contrast, Yuki stated, "I purchased clothes made from recycled polyester from outdoor brands, so I think they must be durable." Durability emerged as an important factor, and participants associated it with specific brand knowledge for creating long-lasting sustainable practice. Respondents emphasized the need for brands to communicate their sustainable practice effectively, to establish authenticity and connect it with conscious customers. This also provides customers with a sense of accomplishment, as if they're contributing positively to the earth. To summary, the insights gained from those qualitative interviews can inform the development of targeted communication strategies and pricing models for sustainable fashion brands to attract the young customers.
Hello, today we'll talk about the key theme of our marketing researches. The first one is the understanding of sustainable fashions, as it is a recurring theme that was found in our interview that it is commonly associated with comfort, ethical practices, and the environmental friendly. Second one is the cost and value perceptions. The recurring theme was that the impact of the cost and on sustainable fashion choices, as it often came with higher price tag due to ethical practices. The next one is the consumer awareness and education, as it was found in an interview that there is a lack of awareness about what brands use ethical practices or sustainable fashion. And the last one is the marketing influence and authenticity, as there is a need to build more trust between the brand and customer to make the sustainable fashion be more effective. Now we talk about their implication on the understanding of sustainable fashion. The first one is the need for brand to clarify the concept for consumers by aligning their messages with comfort, ethical practice, and eco-friendly material to create a stronger connection with consumer who value this type of connection. Next one is the cost and value perception. The brand should consider strategies to address the perceived cost barrier. They should consider strategy to bypass the cost barrier, maybe by emphasizing on durability, longevity of the product, or offering a different options at a different price. Next one is consumer awareness and education. A brand should invest in educational initiative to increase awareness about their brand, like leveraging digital platform, collaborate with influencers to spread the info about the brand that use authentic, sustainable fashions. Last one is marketing influence and authenticity. They need to focus on creating authentic and relatable marketing campaign, like collaborating with influencers who align with the brand images and sustainable practices that can enhance their credibility and resonate with customers more. Thank you.
Hello, all. I'm delighted to stand before you today to unveil the findings of our research, which dwells into the topic of immense significance in today's world: sustainable fashion. In a time where environmental consumers are paramount and consumers' consciousness is on the rise, our study title, Unlocking Sustainability, our research problem, as identified throughout the study, is unlocking sustainability, as it is an comprehensive study of young urban consumers, as it effectively target and engage young urban consumers seeking sustainable fashion to understand how the demographic evaluates sustainable fashion brands, perceive the value of sustainability, and assess evaluates sustainable fashion brands. Research objectives through the research is to evaluate of sustainable fashion brands, that how do young consumers who actively seek sustainable fashion evaluates different sustainable fashion brands in terms of their environmental and ethical practices. Next up, perception of sustainable fashion. What is perceived value of sustainable fashion brands among young consumers? And how does sustainability factor into their purchasing decisions? Then comes up authenticity and effective of brand messaging. What are the expectations and preferences of young consumers regarding how sustainable fashion brands and should communicate their sustainability efforts? Understanding second-hand shopping behavior, what drives young shoppers who currently prefer second-hand options in their fashion choices, what barriers exist that prevent them from choosing sustainable brands, and how can these barriers be addressed? Conversion strategies, what are the strategies used by the organization? Next up is the thematic analysis done through several transcripts, and we came across several themes like understanding sustainable fashion, that how the participants or the respondent view sustainable clothes as though made from sustainable source materials and produced using fair labor practices. They emphasize the importance of not harming human health. So, quoted through the transcript, the respondents said sustainable clothes are the clothing that are made of sustainable source material and fair labor, and also it should not harm human health. Then, second theme, preferences in buying behavior. Preferences in sustainable clothes. Participants express a preference of wearing sustainable clothes when possible, citing factors like environmental consciousness and ethical consideration. Quoted through the transcript, I try to avoid fashion, so if there are some good deals or some possible prices and products, I prefer buy sustainable clothes. Next theme is brand and knowledge, that how aware people are actually. Awareness of sustainable brands. Participants or the respondents are aware of specific sustainable fashion brands such as Patagonia, local cashmere, wool brands, and nudie jeans, which emphasize sustainable practices, quality, and as quoted through the transcript, Patagonia is one of the most popular sustainable clothing brands. Valuable insight into the consumers and their perception, preferences, and challenges related to sustainable industry. It highlights importance of clear and effective brands messaging and competition pricing, and raising awareness about the value of sustainable practices in the fashion industry. Sustainable brands can use these insights to better engage with their target audience and encourage more sustainable fashion clothes. Thank you for listening.